Good day to you, fans of Rando, and welcome to this Link to the Past Randomizer League presentation of course, you might have guessed, the ALTTPR Randomizer League. We've got an open league match for you this evening in the wild card round, the first round of the playoffs, featuring Relegation Chest Boots, who is currently up in the series 1-0 over Third Try Blind. Relegation Chest Boots represented by Tyvarius and h3xodis. Third Try Blind represented by SeanRhapsody and TJJoll. I am MindDM, and I'm joined on the call tonight by somebody who you may have heard quite a bit of in Z1R recently, Tracy M. Hey, Tracy, how are you doing this evening?
Oh, doing great. Yeah, it's good to jump back into some ALTTPR with the insanity that comes with a bazillion extra keys. In here, we already saw a Desert Big, and we already saw a Fire Rod, so good start for our runners.
Yep, it's an all dungeons mode, and in addition to the normal key sanity, all of the keys that are normally under pots or dropped by enemies are also shuffled into that pool, which in cases like Palace of Darkness don't really change anything. And then there are things like Swamp, where all of a sudden you're not looking for one Swamp small key, you're looking for 5 or 6.
Yeah, I mean, Specky Clip definitely going to help out a little bit there with the, not needing, although you're still going to have to check that key spot, but yeah. Pod, of course, unchanged, but yeah, they're in 4 castle tower keys that we're going to have to find, and there's speaking of keys, if that small key sitting on the lumberjack is something important, we might be getting those 4 castle tower keys relatively early.
Entirely possible, but again, with the all dungeons goal, you don't necessarily hate getting forced into a relatively early Aga play.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big fan of the early Aga play because then those castle tower keys not in GT, and a moon pearl in the escape behind some number of no wait, that's the one in that we don't need a key for.
Ah, map chest. Yep, no, you
Map
don't need a
chest has a
key at
moon
all
pearl.
for that. That's just in logic. Walk right
Yep.
in and pick it up. You don't even need to be able to kill the guy who's in the room with it.
So that's a nice find for TJ, getting that moon pearl. It looks like he's gonna go ahead and use that fire rod to get the dark cross key, dark cross item as well.
I think that's about where Tyvarius is. Yeah, that's exactly where he was. He missed his fire rod shot in that room, so he didn't actually get to see the chest. He had to find it the old-fashioned way, fumbling around in the dark.
He used up a few bombs to see his way, which is a good way to do it. Looks like he didn't quite get there though.
He did get there. It was a heart container, and then he
Ah,
was death warping because he hasn't gone and pulled that moon pearl yet.
and this is the first for me seeing a small key to Eastern Palace in a chest, because normally there are none.
And now all of a sudden there are 3. Now you really only need 2 if you're going to beat the dungeon, unless
Hmm.
something is in that vanilla big key location.
Yeah, so like skipping the big chest in Thieves Town, or skipping any number of things in Pod because you don't have quite the keys. But yeah, good to have enough of those to do Eastern. Oh, we got a bow as well. No big key yet though.
Getting all sorts of fancy goodies here in the early going, and of course you start with the boots. You can see everybody just kind of doing the dash around thing. At least it's not in a miser. They don't. Well, they know where the Lionels are. They can go hug them if they want.
Yeah, no surprise rollers and yellow spiky balls to run into. But yeah, still have to be careful about those enemies when you don't have a sword.
So we've
Lots of
got
hearts in the
Tyvarius and
drop down too
TJ
there.
down here on South Shore, while the other 2 are just hoovering up everything in the village, like you do in a key sanity mode.
All right, Mini Moldorm starts with the map. Small key to desert. Let's see, 4 desert smalls. Turtle Rock small. Desert Palace map.
4 kind of sounds right. Again, for
And
better or worse, I'm not playing this season, so the key counts are not something that I had to become really conversant with.
yeah, well then chat can just yell at us if we get any of these numbers wrong. Oh, there's the big key to Eastern in the back of tavern. So I think we're going to see some Eastern Palace relatively early today.
The
And the
seed
fire
does seem
rod
to be
puts
hinting that way, doesn't it?
yeah. Now you still need the lamp to do the big key chest. Logically, I guarantee you these runners will be able to go and do it without it. But it does make me, if we have, I don't know if we've seen all three small keys, but if we do see all three small keys, it's going to make me suspicious the lamp is going to show up. And then we get a hook shot there at the library, my favorite item.
That is an excellent item. It is the best boomerang in the game, bar none.
That's right. That's always my answer when somebody asks me what my favorite boomerang is. It's the hook shot. Just 10 arrows
the
in the
steel one attached to a chain that goes boyoyon when you extend it. That's my favorite boomerang.
See, some water walking on TJ's side with a mushroom. Okay, well,
good.
TBD on that one.
Logic.
Now, without
meanwhile,
the
going to head over to Eastern.
We're just going to be able to peek this. I don't know if you can splash delete with the items. Yes, it doesn't matter. It's just a 20 rupees. Unfortunately, not enough money to actually get the Zora item, though.
I caught the tail end of that text box from h3xodis. Was that
I saw
Palace of Darkness? Palace of Darkness?
I saw the word palace. That's all I saw. A glove in the back, though, and a small key to Hyrule Castle.
Fancy sorts of things, and we are going to see h3xodis continue on the way over towards Eastern Palace. Plus or minus this little Armo statue that's chasing him about.
Yeah, in the meantime, looks like our other runners are going back and getting the stuff they need. No one on our right side has gone into Eastern yet, but I imagine one of them will get there relatively soon. Ganon's Tower small key. I think there's 8 Ganon's Tower small keys, so
8 GT smalls, yes.
Yeah. And hopefully we just need a couple to do the climb, because hopefully we're not looking for anything in there. Small key to Thieves Town in Eastern.
That's another one of those where you need a couple to beat the dungeon and then one more to check the big chest. So a bit of an Eastern kind of number.
Yeah, see, there's that lamp. Right in Eastern Palace.
Right where you need it, I suppose. I expect we'll see everybody pick that up. It's not the most on the way check in the world, but when it's this early and you basically haven't had to do a single dark room yet, it's going to save you the time that it takes to get it.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Especially when you already have the hook shot to get over there without having to go the long way. There's another Turtle Rock small in Eastern. See? Oh boy, small key to this dungeon.
Alright, well, the game's got jokes sometimes. This is fine.
This could be full clearable. Now, I imagine that Tyvarius, when he gets in here, if this big key chest item isn't needed, probably will skip that. Or also this item here in the dark room. I think you picked that up.
You're probably picking that up. The chances
that
you get to dodge that are pretty low.
Yeah, too early to skip that. Can we skip the big key chest? Yes, we can skip those bombs, though. So I don't know if it's fast. Yeah, this is one of those things that I imagine some of these runners have probably figured out, whether it's faster to walk back out of that room or whether it's faster to go all the way around. through the big key chest, even though you're not necessarily going to open it unless you really want those 3 bombs.
I'm reasonably certain that you would save screen transitions and thus time if you just backtracked.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But yeah, I bet you somebody knows better.
It's certainly what I've seen out of some of the Invitational League
Mm-hmm.
ADKDBs that I've seen, and those are the people that you would definitely expect to have done the thing, like, actually time it out.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
All those sweaty try-hard Invitational players.
We got Sean into Eastern Palace doing all the same checks that h3xodis did.
And Tyvarius doing a little water walking. Did we see this check? I feel like I
I
saw
don't think we
TJ
have.
in
Maybe?
Waterfall, but not here.
Yeah, we saw Waterfall for sure. Oh, it's a big key. Pod big key. Okay. We're going to need that at some point. A small key on the Armos, just to Skull Woods. Which normally would be one you're not even thinking about, but I guess you need 2 to get to the back of Skull Woods. You'll probably avoid the key doors elsewhere if you really wanted to do some drop-down shenanigans, but you're going to need
But
at
you
least
won't
2
turn
of
down
those.
1 or 2 more in this
Yeah,
case.
exactly.
It'll make your life easier. Alright, so where is h3xodis planning to go now, as Sean is probably about a minute behind him clearing up Eastern? TJ is going to get the glove out of the back of Saha and probably follow into Eastern here, I guess.
Looks like we're going to see some castle stuff from h3xodis. I don't know if he's going to do anything new here. I imagine could do back of escape from the other side and maybe do go to the mountain because we have a glove, a hook shot, and a lamp. Even in logic, amazingly enough. Probably wants this moon pearl.
It does have that 1 small key to continue past and is going to use it to go and check Boomerang Chest. We'll see if that turns into anything, since, well, the guard there has something as well. It's a 2 checks for 1 key is not terrible.
Let's see what we got. Small key to Turtle Rock. And a small key to Ice Palace. I think, yeah, we don't really need keys for Ice Palace, although I'd have to think about I'm not sure what the number we need for Ice Palace is, because I feel like there's only 1 or 2. We get the, normally you get the one that's sitting under the big rock.
Well, there's
like,
Kibari, there's the one under the
Yeah.
rock, there's the one in Clock Room.
Yeah,
Is
so
there
those.
another one? And then there are a couple in chests, so.
Yeah, sounds about right. I guess it depends on which direction you're going. A
Ooh,
cape in the back
interesting.
of escape.
Yeah, that's a thing. All of a sudden, first check in Agate Towers in logic. Maybe more if we've seen a key, but I don't think we have.
I don't think we have. All right, one of our trackers, Nochibato, saying for simple routing 2. That sounds about right. For Ice Palace. Yeah, it looks like h3xodis is going to go ahead and hit the mountain. Both our runners, yeah, we got both our runners on the right side either have done or are doing Eastern Palace. Ty is going to go ahead and do Eastern Palace. Might as well just get it done. Enough things that you might need. You just want to get those things.
You've got the lamp. The lamp is pretty nice. You've got a crystal that you can put on the board and not have to worry about later. I mean, maybe you think about trying to pair it with a mirror and pod and some pod keys later, since yeah, relegation chest boots knows where that pod big is, and Tyvarius in fact has it. But yeah, the chances are just as good that you're supposed to have that TR key in hand when you go up there, and that h3xodis is going to find something worthwhile like some mitts, and then we're going to be doing Dark Whirl all of a sudden. You never know. Ooh,
Like a
speaking
pod
of
small
pod
at
keys,
Agena.
yeah.
I mean, that's an easily skipped one. I mean, pod is well known. It's got sword. We're gonna try and hover for it. Oh, got him. But yeah, I mean, it's well known that you can do 5 keys for pod with the hammer jump. And if you really want to do dumb shenanigans, you could even go down to 4 by never opening the front door, but that's insanely slow, so not recommended. It's like the second hover didn't quite work out, but that's okay. We got the sword.
Getting a little bullied by dead rocks there, but he'll make it on through. We'll see Paradox Cave here in another 30 seconds or so.
Dead rocks, the worst enemy in this game.
Ooh, what did Sean find there on Keyrat? I missed it.
Oh, I didn't see either.
Yeah, I only
Chat.
saw him save quitting out of it.
Chat, if you saw, let us know. All right, first items in Paradox. A very useless map, but a heart container. We made a lot of early heart containers in this seed.
For co-op, the health level in this is already pretty decent in point
Yeah.
of fact, and we've seen the blue cane as well. TJ found that somewhere.
I think it was somewhere in
Tyvarius has it as
Kakariko.
well, so maybe.
Pot small. Master sword. Flute. Okay, we got a few good things over here in Paradox Cave. Most notably that flute and the Master Sword. Apparently the rat was a pod small.
Oh, okay. Tyvarius, please, what are we doing with this Igor in the bottom left-hand corner of the room? I don't know, but it's probably illegal.
All right, with no hammer, we can't do Hera, so we're just going to go ahead and grab Spiral Cave. TJJoll in the mountain, so he's going to get all the good stuff here, including the sword. Actually, they're both of the right side over there.
Interesting how Third Try Blind seems to be following each other a little more
Yeah.
closely. It's certainly against the general meta of co-op play, but
Yep.
yet and still it kind of feels like they're making the checks in a timely manner, and that Relegation Just Boots hasn't really gained a whole lot by having split up.
All right, so we found a mirror in Spiral Cave, which, I might have just saved and quit. And, because now we can do some Hera stuff. I might have saved and quit. Now, Hera is I always say that the Hera small key is the worst key in the game. I don't think that changes in this mode because it's the only key in Hera, and it's still annoying. And it's still a terrible check, and not one that's logically for anything but one item that you probably don't need. At the hook shot, we can actually do the fight too with Moldorm, even though we don't have the big key.
And with Master Sword, it's not even that bad of a fight. Plus the cape, so you can just kind of ignore the boss if you really need to.
A book. That's actually decent timing because we can check Ether Tablet while we're up here, so that works out nicely. I'm actually rather suspicious now of Ether Tablet, but we're gonna kill Moldorm first.
It does give us a little to do in desert as well, so it's going to probably lead RCB over to that, what was it, a pod
It
small
was a pod
in
small,
Agina's
yeah.
cave? Yeah.
Yep. And with the flute, you can just flute right over there, so that's nice. Ooh, ooh, middle hole. Not what you want to see.
Well, we're going to find out whether hookshotting across again or saving and quitting is faster, because TJ and SeanRhapsody left Spiral Cave at essentially exactly the same time, and I don't see that anybody has gained an advantage at all.
Nope. They're lockstep right now. That's hilarious. It's a bit of a shame because if one of them um, was a little bit ahead, then the other could potentially skip that drop down into the bug net if they don't want it. And mitts. Okay, so okay, we don't have a hammer to get into Turtle Rock, but or a cane of Samaria, but we've already got mitts. So all those Turtle Rock small keys, a little suspicious once we get the other things we need. I think we're going back to the east side of the mountain with those after we check Ether Tablet here.
It looks like Tyvarius is trying to split this up by getting the flute activated, while h3xodis is up here making the rest of these checks. Knowing that the mitts are there on the boss in Hera, we probably just go rushing right back anyway, but, you know.
See either way. With
Plus,
the
since
mirror,
the book is in there, and without it, Tyvarius is not getting into desert by any means. It feels kind of wasteful not to.
yeah. We're gonna turn the mushroom in, which only Tyvarius has. So we're gonna find out whether that's anything important. If h3xodis needs to go back and get it. Nope. $5. Yeah, right back to the mountain. I mean, those mitts are our Dark World access, so we want them. So GT small
Are they,
key.
though, logically speaking? Because we don't have a Tower Hera big yet,
Oh,
do
that's a
we?
good point. That's right. That's right. They were on Moldorm.
Now, I don't know that that means that we shouldn't go ahead and jump the logic chain, because what we're probably looking at this point is you're supposed to take that book that you got from the Hera lobby chest and go into desert and get
Mhm.
something that gives you eventual access to these mitts, probably fairly directly. So just have them and backdoor into desert with the flute in the mirror.
All right, Hookshot Cave. Small key to get into tower. Arrows. Piece of heart. And a map. Well, Hookshot Cave was not very interesting.
Pretty underwhelming, all things considered.
Now there is a key in the floating island, so we'll see if there's any, if that's anything. So I guess we'll call the mitts our Dark World axis, but not necessarily our logical Dark World axis.
Castle Tower Key and King's Tomb, I think that was.
Swamp Palace small, which is still a big deal, but usually it's, you know, the Swamp Palace small, and there's 6 of them in this mode. And of note, or Of minor note, we did get a pendant in Hera. So it wouldn't surprise me if either of our teams went ahead and did a bit of a split, have one of them start Dark World checks, the other one head over to see what's in Desert, because logically that's probably what we're supposed to be.
It feels pretty likely that Hexodus just, well, I was about to say we're going to activate the flute. Why not just stay on the flute and go check Desert and the Mire area, since Mire area is quick checks? But no, he's ready to enter the Dark World at 3 and just kind of go ham. We've got a Fire Rod and a couple of swords and pretty decent safeties, all things considered. Let's go see
Yeah, I
Skullwoods.
think he's
Sure.
gonna do. I'm not sure how many keys he has for Skullwoods, but he looks like we're gonna see some Skullwoods.
Just go ahead and mash some moth, and then you can backtrack on your way through and start checking Dark Overworld. It's fine.
All right, he's got two small keys to Skullwoods, so we can beat this dungeon, and we can do shenanigans to get all the checks. Except we're probably not gonna do all the checks, because there's a lot of dropping down that would be required. Boomerang is our first item.
If you're lucky, maybe the dungeon just spits a small key to this dungeon at you, and then all of your worries kind of go away.
Yeah, TJ checking out the Mire Shed gets a Skullwood small key and half magic, so
No,
that's going to help him out with the Skullwoods navigating. Plus, the half magic is always nice to have. It looks like Quake for our entry into Mire. Of course, we have Quake into Mire and Bombos into TR, but the medallion we have is Ether. Classic.
Classic rando.
There's another Skullwood small key in Checkerboard Cave.
Just go to the Mire area, and that way get the things that you need to make Skull Woods not a terrible check.
So yeah, all our runners in different places right now with oh, and a big key over there too to Hera.
Yep.
So okay, our mitts
logic
are in
all
logic
falls into
now.
place.
Yay.
Yep. Go to Hera, get your book, go into Desert through the front door so that you can pick up your Hera big off of Desert Ledge, so you can go back to Hera to kill the boss and get your mitts for your Dark World access. Easy game.
Yeah, remember when we used to have that Hera big key to actually complete?
Oh yes.
And a hammer in Skull Woods on the Gibdo. Which makes sense now that we've seen where the Hera big key was. Now, Sean's gonna start out Thieves Town.
Given that TJ's the one who just pulled all of the things to make Skull Woods better, I'm not particularly surprised by that choice.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Exodus cleaning up the moth there, going to be rewarded with a piece of heart and a crystal.
Yeah, and I wonder if he'll even bother with the rest of Skullwoods and leave the front of Skullwoods to Tyvarius, who's going to have all the small keys to do all the things.
That was a fancy ice rod under that key pot in the back of Desert for TJ, by the way.
And we're going to need that eventually. There it is for Ty.
And the required Quake medallion hiding under the other key pot in the back of Desert.
It's like Hexodus, so he's going to do some of these Skullwoods checks. I guess we got the big key somewhere because we're gonna go ahead and hover across, and it's a small key to Hyrule Castle. Okay. Oh, okay. We're gonna do the drop down.
Did Hexodus peak front right when he first came into Skullwoods?
I
Because
don't,
otherwise he's just abandoning it right now.
I don't think there's no way. Because he's got 6 out of 10, and there's 3 checks
Mm-hmm.
here that he's going to be able to get to, and
And one in
he's going
front
to be at
right.
9.
Well, that's fine. That's what you have a teammate for. He can back you up.
That's right. Oh, Castle Tower Small. That's kind of important. And a small gated desert, which could, I mean, I guess we can get away with 3 out of the 4 desert small keys and never check the right side.
I've seen a
And
lot
if
of
I'm not
saves coming to
mistaken,
check that right side.
yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the item counts is on the HUDs no matter what. You don't actually have to have the compass for it, so which is really nice because we're all used to keeping track of a certain number, and it's different here. And yeah, TJ is in Misery Mire, which we can do a lot in Mire, even without a small key. Wow, Sean's gonna do some Smith/Purple Chest. I don't think anybody's gotten over to Hype Cave yet, and that's probably going to be part of Sean's route. Exodus going to see if that cape is required by checking Bumper Ledge here. Nope, just some bombs. Okay, Tyvarius has the small key. We're going to get this check right now. It's just a piece of heart, so it's just not going to need to worry about that. Ooh, Cadus Amari on Purple Chest. That's pretty big. That's still an awful check.
That's not a great check, no matter how you slice it. It
Yeah,
really is not.
Is there any? There's no such thing as a mode where you say, you know what I want to do? I want to do Purple Chest. that just doesn't exist. Blue Melon on the Bombos tablet. That's a nice item. We'll see if TJ. It's one of those items that TJ could choose to skip. It's nice to have 1 mail upgrade. You don't really need 2. We don't know where the second one is though. But you don't really need any of them.
And hey, look, Hype Cave, SeanRhapsody, show us the goods.
Small key 2. Desert. Map. That's at least 3 desert smalls. And I guess we should point out that because the tracker we have only counts up to the non-drop key number, we're just not going to track the key. We're just not tracking the small keys. So we're going to rely on our memories and the memories of our trackers, and the memories of you all in Chatland. Mire and Eastern are red crystals.
No, what we're really going to rely on is our runners not remembering what their key count is supposed to be and trying to push a door open.
There you go.
And then if it's Ty and Hexodus, I'll mock them lovingly. Because that's what you do to friends when they make silly mistakes.
Absolutely. And Big Key to Ice Palace on the dig game. I don't think we saw this on the other side because they were busy turning in the purple chest. And the guy that runs the dig game doesn't like it if you have a follower when you try and go there. big key to Ganon's tower. Both of our two of our runners picking that up now. I'm pretty certain their partners have seen that already. But it's another one of those items that can be in the GT basement, so always good to find that now.
The more of those you can fish out of the pool before you have access to GT, the happier you're
Yes,
going to be as a runner.
absolutely. All right, Hex is going to hit up Hype Cave.
Get that small key to desert and a bunch of bad news text boxes. And Tyvarius is going to be the member of RCB who's going to go ahead and handle the smith chain here.
Yep, he'll be happy he did, because that purple chest does hide a cane to Samaria that the runners will need. I mean, item-wise, we're looking pretty good. Mostly just missing flippers. But key-wise, we're definitely missing several CT smalls, several swamp smalls that we're going to need. Probably need a few more pod smalls. Yeah, a lot of keys that we still need. Big keys as well, of course.
Hex just setting up a fake flipper here. This could be an ice play, I guess.
Does he have the... there was a big key over here.
Oh, what, pod big key, I think it was?
He definitely wants this big key, and that might be wherever this... I forget what big key it was, but whatever it is, it's probably where he's headed. Be my guess.
I think it was pod, and I don't know how many small keys to pod he may have, but the equipment side of things says that you can kill the boss there.
Yeah, you are correct. It was a pod small, or pod big. Yeah, I think it'd be pretty reasonable to go ahead and just do it, and then maybe, you know, get the items there later. Now, obviously, there's a handful of items you can just get with either the bow or just the, you know, just one key. Yeah, that's a flute to 5. This is a pod play. And, you know, maybe not.
Or we can flute away, that's fine too. Was there maybe a pod key in desert that we know about?
The only one I remember for sure is the one in Aegina. But maybe he's got some he might have some extra desert keys. He's got 3 desert keys, so he can do everything but, let's see. But if he skips just the right side, he can do everything else. And he's got the big key, so he could actually finish the dungeon other than those 2 checks on the right side.
Pretty reasonable to clear that out and hope maybe you find another pod small or something before you go over there.
And Big Chest has Turtle Rock's big key, so we definitely need that. Tyvarius looks like he's heading over to pod. So this might have been a slight audible or perhaps even maybe a miscommunication between the 2 runners of which one of this is going to do which thing.
It could have maybe been Hexodus saying, well, I'm going to go do pod, and Tyvarius says, but I've got more pod smalls, and I don't know if he has more pod smalls or not, but that could be the kind of thing that would factor into your decision making.
Absolutely. Well, we'll find out in just a second how many pod smalls Tyvarius has when he walks in here. And I think Hexus has 1 extra desert small compared to what TJ had when he went in here. So is going to be able to finish this boss fight right now.
Tyvarius has 4 pod smalls from the looks of it.
Oh yeah, then he's definitely the one that should be going in here. And you know, there's always the pod small and pod meme that is a meme for a reason.
It's just classic rando. There are so many keys to this dungeon, one of them just has to live in its home. It's fine. That's the end of the land. Mola's there for h3xodis. Picks up a map, which is not really going to help him all that much since we've already cleared that dungeon. The crystal's a little better, though.
Yeah, with four pod smalls, Tyvarius could skip one check. Again, could do the dumb play of not opening the front door and skip a bunch of check and actually get everything. But most likely he'll either skip the harmless hallway chest or more likely the big key chest.
And h3xodis is going to give us some more new information, taking that Quake medallion, going to open up Misery Mire.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of Misery Mire on Third Try Blind. I forget who was in there. Trying to think if we got anything.
That was... I'm trying to remember which one that was. Don't know that a whole lot changed there, but I feel like we've got to have more keys now than we had then.
Yeah, he's got 2 small keys, which I think should be able to get everything. Mire's a weird dungeon because it's got a couple, even with the drop keys factored in, it still has some key doors. They're just completely unnecessary.
Like that one right there.
Yep, and then there's also the there's a rupee room in the dark basement where you normally use the Cane of Samaria to get to the boss. On the right side of that, there's actually a key door that leads to a rupee room that you never see in randomizer because no one ever goes there.
SeanRhapsody also picking up that crystal out of Desert Palace. So that's 4 dungeons for him, 2 and about to be 3 for TJ. We've got 3 for Tyvarius, but he's about to pick up his 4th, and h3xodis is just trying to run away and hide from everybody, isn't he?
Yeah, we definitely didn't see these right side checks in Mire. Our first look at Ice Palace, which is I believe our last pendant. No, it's the green pendant, never mind. So there's one other pendant out there. And a bow. Okay. I forget where our first bow is, but apparently Sean... no, wait, that is his silvers. Okay, the silvers did change. The arrows.
Tyvarius and TJ, simultaneous collections of additional crystals that they'll add to their collections.
Oh, Tempered Sword. That's a nice... That's especially a nice find walking into Ice Palace. That'll make the Cold Stare fight better. Although with... I was going to say, Sean hasn't gotten that half magic yet, so I think that Tempered Sword is going to be a little bit more useful to him than somebody that has the half magic could just use Fire Rod to go ahead and do that Cold Stare fight. Tyvarius going to go do the back of pod now that he's beaten Helmasaur. So I guess the play here, oh, powder, is you get this item and then you mirror and then do the traditional icebreaker.
Makes life easier, that's for sure.
Tyvarius making sure he picks up all the money in the pod basement makes me wonder if there's going to be a Zora play in his future. Doesn't quite have enough yet, though. Small key to Thieves Town behind 6 pod smalls. Nice.
That's pretty fancy.
Okay, so Sean doesn't have any small keys to ice, so he's not going to be able to go much further unless one decides to show up here.
Running out of places for that to happen, too.
No, small key to Ganon's Tower. You always get a little excited when you're in a dungeon and you're going to be key blocked. When you see a key and you hope it's the one they'll let you go further. But no, the last desert small. And a Ganon's Tower. Oh, this is really funny. TJ is going to go ahead and do a magic bat check with the mushroom to see if that powder is required.
Knowing that it's logical because they know where the powder is.
I love it. I love it. Nope, just 10 bombs.
All of a sudden, you kind of wish you had your bar of magic back.
Ooh, here's a thing. Pyramid Lodge with the Bombos medallion. Need that for a Turtle Rock entry.
The game does seem to have been hinting at Turtle Rock for a little while now,
Yeah.
and strangely enough, the access medallion was just laying right out there, basically from the moment you had Dark World access.
Okay, so right side desert is junk, just a GT small key.
Again, you take those, but you're kind of hoping not to need them.
That's right. And the normal 4 becomes 8, and I won't even begin to try and figure out the logic for the basement checks. Need 2 for the climb. But the basement checks are confusing enough normally, where, you know, you have to go buy 4 key locked chests to get to 3 key locked chests because of the different direction thing. But Catfish with 20 bucks. Okay, the 20 bucks from Catfish is going to give Tyvarius 1 rupee more than he needs for Zora. I love it.
Just according to plan. I love it when a plan comes together.
That is awesome. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I think he was just going to mirror and flute away, and then he said, wait a
I
minute,
know, right?
I have cash money now. It's burning a hole in my pocket, and I'd really like to flip her through this, but I can't.
Like, h3xodis is going to check out Ice Palace. Wow, just $5 for your trouble. The good news is, h3xodis doesn't even have to worry about going back to that area. And this is interesting. Sean's going to go for the big key chest here instead of going for Harmless Hellway.
Okay, it's a respectable play.
And it's a small key to Misery Mire. Okay.
Yeah, alright. It's one of those things where you probably just have your partner do the other 6 key locked check, and well, if you guessed wrong, you feel a little bad.
Yeah, I think the other one was the desert small, which we know doesn't lock much of anything, so. As that right side desert had, I think, just a GT small, which we hope we don't really need.
TJ's back in Hyrule Castle with enough small keys to go check the Zelda Cell area if he wants to. We have not seen the big here, though, have we?
Nope. There's a powder for Hexodus. Now, Tyvarius doesn't still have that mushroom. He did turn that in for not a lot.
And TJ is going to head into Castle Tower here.
Yeah, 3 Castle Tower smalls. Can't quite finish it out.
This mode has a really bad habit of giving you 3 Castle Tower smalls and expecting you to dip in here anyway, though.
I mean, that sounds just like what these randomizers would do, so I can't say that I'm surprised.
There was definitely a seed earlier in the week where CT4 was in fact just pure vanilla.
Nice. Oh, flippers. All right. Well, our Ice Palace stuff's just went into logic.
And we've had access to that for a little while.
Yeah. Yeah, that cape gave us access to the first check. Actually, that's the second check. Cape plus Castle CT1.
We do see SeanRhapsody walking by the pod big chest there because Third Try Blind has not made it over to the bridge check.
So, Ty's going to do exactly the same checks over here at Ice Palace that we've already seen. Having a little bit of trouble with the icebreaker.
And it looks like SeanRhapsody is going to go land on that Bombos medallion and then probably get the 20 bucks off of Catfish.
You know, we said this a while back, but the we've gotten some very early indications, and somewhere we got a 4th CT small in Castle Tower.
Had to be in Castle Tower because that's where TJ was.
But yeah, I imagine we might be seeing some of Turtle Rock relatively soon because we have the medallion, we have the cane, we have several small keys. We have everything we need to get into there.
There's Ty pushing on the door and hoping it'll open. And here's another door that you can push on and hope that it opens, but it won't.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, there's nothing more you can do. It looks like he's going to try going for the bomb jump direction, but normally the conveyor key is what gets you in there, and it's 0 key. Not gonna be able
Get
to do
him
that.
the powder, I guess. So
Did he
it's
not already? No. Oh,
no,
okay.
No, he didn't go that
Hexodus
direction.
got. I guess no. Hexodus has the powder. That's what I was thinking of. Okay.
Exodus also has the fancy right side pod hover if he can, yep, there we go. Just
There it
needed
is.
a couple more pixels south.
Good job. So how long before one of relegation chess boots goes and does Castle Tower? Hopefully before they end up at GT, because they're not getting that CT small in GT. I feel like it's got to be a little bit easier to make that call in co-op than when you're playing by yourself, though.
And it kind of depends, because if you're going to get forced into the... Like, you know that Pod was a crystal, right? We picked up a crystal out of Palace of Darkness off of Helmsor, I think.
That's what I see.
And you know that that's behind the flippers because that pod big was on Hobo.
Yep.
So your flippers, if nothing else, to put all of this nonsense into logic, have to be available to you outside of GT.
Yes.
So hopefully you don't just go in and do one check in Castle Tower and decide to bail? Question mark. I mean, it wouldn't be the strangest thing in the world, but I would hate it.
Looks like Tyvarius is going to go ahead and be our first runner to dip into Turtle Rock. What's nice for the partners of this, I mean, you're going to have to get the flippers, but I think it was just well, I don't know, maybe you just do Castle Tower regardless, but you could choose to finish Castle Tower at the end. No, I think you just do it, though. The double dip doesn't make sense. You do need the... Because you do need those flippers.
That fairy was just taunting Tyvarius. It was great. TJ's in Palace of Darkness now. We're likely to see the other 6 key locked checks, so the third try blind has roughly complete information of Palace of Darkness.
All right, so we're going to focus a little bit on Tyvarius as he's our first runner into Turtle Rock, and right now the only runner doing new things. You know what? Sean is going to go ahead and grab those flippers and leave, and I guess do Castle Tower at the end.
It's entirely reasonable once you know. It's not checks that you really need to get out of the way. If there's
Yeah.
nothing on Lumberjack, there's not particularly a reason to rush it. Now, when you've already gone through a handful of rooms, maybe you just think, well, I don't really want to have to do those over. Like, the double ball and chain guard room is not particularly fast.
Yeah, it's funny because, like, when he did... I was convincing myself that, no, you just go finish it right then and there, and then Sean goes and makes a liar out of me, so there you go.
Exodus picking up that pod crystal.
Yeah, so we're not gonna... all our runners done with pod, one way or the other. Actually, it's not... Sean... I thought Sean finished it, maybe did not. So here's a small key to Ice Palace in Turtle Rock. I didn't see what the other item was.
Then Hexodus is back in Ice Palace.
Looks like he got a small key from somewhere, so he is going to be able to go further. A small key to Turtle Rock in Turtle Rock, because why not?
Sean trying to trap himself by hookshotting through that block instead of fire rotting.
It should allow him to do everything but the lava chest and go ahead and finish this dungeon right now. Other than, well, lava chest.
It's fine, you can always skip it and hope that it's nothing.
I mean, usually that's the play. Just gotta remember not to open that door. We've all done that. The oops.
Been there, done that, and unless your name is Jesse Radical Sniper 99, you don't open that door when you don't have full keys. Jesse, for whatever reason, gets bailed out.
Of course.
Because that's just the way his personal RNG rolls.
Alright, we get some new checks at Ice Palace too soon, so. We got to keep an eye on that as well.
New ice checks. We'll get, assuming that Ty can find the mirror, we'll get Mimic Cave.
Oh, there's the blue mail. So we've both mail upgrades now found. Is that a small key to swamp in Mimic? It's all Swamp Palace.
I missed it. I was watching h3xodis push on a door and hope that it would open.
Nothing in the big chest.
Nothing in either big chest. And that may be the reason why SeanRhapsody did not continue in Castle Tower at the time. He did not yet have the Castle Tower key out of King's Tomb.
Okay, yeah, that totally makes sense.
There was not another item reason to continue in that tower, so without the ability to otherwise complete it, leaving after the flippers made perfect sense.
There's a small key to swamp in the... I don't know what you call this room with the little shadow guys. I've never had to name it before.
Clock room. Room north of Ice J.
And a Misery Mire small key. Chat asking what do they need for Go mode. I'm just gonna say keys. We probably need at least one more Thieves Town key. We definitely need a Thieves Big Key. We haven't seen that. Mire Big Key. I think that's all for the big keys, but definitely probably need some more small keys. I don't know if we got anything on Laser Bridge there, but
Didn't look like there was anything on Laser Bridge.
there's one check that h3xodis is leaving, and I don't know which one it is, but he's got 10 out of 12. Whereas TJ has 8 out of 12. We'll see if he's able to get all of them. I'm gonna say no, because he looks like he's headed down to Cold Stare right now. Nothing on Cold Stare himself, though. Do you have a green pendant we can turn in, though?
Could have some value.
Oh, right. Chat reminding us, because we've already seen some of Ice Palace and on Tyvarius side, so you probably just skipped the things that we hadn't seen before. So that should be all of Ice Palace for both our runners that are in there right now. Big Key on Misery Mire, Big Key, and the pendant on Trinex.
Okay. We're getting a lot of good news about things that cannot be in GT now, aren't we?
Yep. I'm going to turn in that green pendant and get a small key to Ice Palace. Fun fact,
Ice
you don't
Palace
need...
key logic, I love you.
You don't need all the Ice Palace keys to beat Ice Palace. And Tyvarius is going to take that Mire Big Key and go ahead and finish up Mire. Probably going to finish up whatever desert he hasn't done yet. Now, Sean's in Turtle Rock. Like he entered with 4 keys as well. And it looks like Hex is maybe doing whatever he hasn't done in Hyrule Castle, plus maybe going into Castle Tower.
He also does need to pick up this Bombos medallion.
Yeah, it really makes sense to write all that in together.
Yeah, and while he's here, I would be a little disappointed if he doesn't say, well, I have this mirror. h3xodis says, nope, I'm done.
Oh boy. Oh
I have
boy.
other things to do.
Sean's opening the big key, going to the big key chest.
Okay. That's a choice.
Oh, it's not what you want to see there. I think he had the same 4 keys going in that Tyvarius had. So this could mean that third try blind is going to need to find that 6 TR small key.
Luckily, with the Meyer Big on Trinex, we know that it's not floating around in Ganon's tower basement
That's
somewhere.
right.
So they've got that going for them. But that doesn't mean that it couldn't be somewhere equally ugly, like, say, left side swamp.
Yeah, we're still missing a bunch of swamp smalls. I think you need 5 to beat the dungeon, 6 to full clear it. Although I think you could take 1. That would be logically speaking, I suppose 4 and 5, because of Specky Clip.
You can get it down further even with left side if you've got the left side bomb spooky, which is absolutely cursed tech, but it exists and it's legal. At least the last time I checked. We saw it during the regular season week anyway.
No, Chibato reminding us, one of our wonderful trackers, along with Derek, reminding us that we still have Hera Basement. Actually, we have Hera Big Chest as well. Both things that we have not checked.
Nobody goes back to Tower of Hera. That just doesn't
No,
happen.
never.
If you're gonna skip one tower, you skip all of them, right? That's the way this game works.
Of course. Okay, I think we're okay on Sean's side, because it looks like he's got 1 more key going down to the bottom, which is what he needs to get into Trinex. So I think we're okay there.
Well, if you have all of the keys, I certainly hate the checking lava chest check substantially.
A lot less, yeah. Yeah, at that point, you should just check it.
We'll double check on Sean's side here, but I don't think there was anything particularly interesting on this laser bridge.
No, I don't
so
think there
far,
was.
we're 2 for nothing, 3 for nothing.
Nope,
Yeah,
nothing.
That's a whole lot of nothing.
And here's a room you would never ever see outside of any kind of pot shuffle, because no reason to ever go there, and it's just a piece of heart on Tyvarius' side.
Both of RCB having a little bit of an adventure in double pokies there.
And apparently, we missed a Thieves Town big key in Hera Big Chest, so we are gonna have to go back to Hera.
I'm going to assume, based on who's where at the moment, that TJ was the one who found that.
Our tracker's confirming.
Excellent.
And there's Pod 6 in the Meyer Big Chest. That's funny.
Behind Pendant TR6 for your Meyer Big Key on Trinex. Oh, I love key logic, don't you?
All right, that's Turtle Rock for Sean. Okay, so Didn't quite realize that the third try blind doesn't have the pod big key. And I'm trying to remember where that was.
That's on Hobo. That's under the
Oh,
bridge.
yeah, that's right. Funny enough, they're the ones that have the flippers. And, to your point earlier about we were talking about when we thought the TR small key was um, knowing that we thought that third try blind didn't have all the TR smalls checking lava chests. That wasn't going to be um, in GT. The flippers, we now know, since we know all our pendants, the flippers are not going to be uh, relegation chest boots. Not going to be looking for the flippers in GT. So probably one of them ends up in Castle Tower at some point before GT. Whether they finish it, I don't know. I don't know if either one of them seen that Castle Tower small in King's Tomb.
I'm not sure either, but it feels like the kind of thing that it's kind of difficult to avoid. It's just such an available check when your Dark World access is Myths.
Yeah.
I feel like you've done something wrong if you're missing that check. Either that or you're playing spoiler. Looks like Tyvarius is going to give us the big orange bomb, though.
That sounds like fun. I mean, that another opportunity to do some stuff in Castle Tower. I guess we're getting some of Thieves Town on Sean's side. Should be able to do everything but the big chest.
Which is fine, nobody wants to open that anyway.
Are we're gonna get a spike cave check from h3xodis.
Vanilla Butter Sword, okay.
I mean, you don't mind it, but certainly not something you need, and I don't think h3xodis is gonna go get that. You've already got tempered.
Highly unlikely. If it was Inamizer, you think about it.
Yeah, yeah. And especially since he's already done Trinex in particular, and Trinex is one of the places where you save the most time. Cold Stare is another one where you can save time with the gold sword.
Was that a Swamp Small in Thieves Town Big Chest? And I think Sean had already spent keys in such a way that he was fine. Because, well, he opened it and he's still going to be able to get to the boss, so clearly he's fine.
Okay, so Tyvarius going to get the flippers, but he walked in with only 2 small keys, so he's not going to be able to finish this off.
He is going to continue, though, which is going to be good news for RCB in the longer term, because that way, when they pick up whatever the other Castle Tower key is they're missing, they won't be hunting for the one that's just sitting up here in the tower. But TJ picking up the pendant off of Trinex, SeanRhapsody picking up the crystal off of Blind.
So yeah, at this point, I feel like we need Swamp Smalls. And, well, no. Thieves Town Big Key was found, yeah. So relegation RCB, they need to go do Hera Big Chest and King's Tomb. TTB, they need to get to the Hobo to get their Pod Big Key. Tyvarius is going to probably go into Swamp right now, I think. We'll see how many keys he has when he enters.
It's a perfectly reasonable play if you're still looking for things, especially once you just found your flippers, to make it not just logical, but accessible. what is that, 4 Swamp Smalls?
Yeah, I see a 4. Should be able to beat it with that. Not going to be able to do left side, I don't think. I think you skipped the A. Of course, I'm a chronic left side skipper anyway. And there really isn't going to be anything over there. I think at this point we're in no mode. I think we know enough. Each team is missing some crucial pieces of information.
Tyvarius keeps lifting these things and seeing things that have text boxes attached and managing to dodge all of them. I'm actually
Yeah,
kind of
well
impressed.
done. Wow, our other 3 runners all in Misery Mire at the same time.
I don't know that we're going to get Vitreous and Triplicate here, but we're going to at least get dupes on the screen.
The silvers is too quick for the runners that have the silvers. Actually, I think they all have. Yeah, they all have the silvers because that second bow was on path and Ice Palace. You're just not going to skip that. In the entryway key.
So we've got 7 dungeons on Tyvarius. What's Hex have? 8?
It's a little unfortunate. I feel like TTB is going to get to the hobo with the big key they're missing before RCB gets to both King's Tomb and the Hera Big Chest for the things they need.
The Hera Big Chest is just out of the way. When you've already done Turtle Rock,
Yep.
I feel like it was a bit of a mistake on their side to not have either runner go
Yeah.
and clean that up.
Yep.
But
Yep.
Now you've really kind of hard orphaned it.
And apparently, I'm guessing the CT4 was the last item in CT. So Tyvarius didn't get all the way there for it.
Ooh.
That's a really tough call to go there.
That's
but
extra
gosh,
ugly.
the good news is, so h3xodis still needs to go get those flippers, and he may be getting. He's in the right area to get CT3. So if he so it makes sense that he would go that extra little bit further when he goes and gets those flippers. And that's what they need. That's what they need to have happen for that part of the puzzle. But they still need to go to the Hera Big Chest.
Tyvarius, meanwhile, pulling that crystal down out of Swamp Palace.
All right, there's CT3 for h3xodis.
We probably see Tyvarius clean up Ice Palace here while Hex is making new checks.
That would make sense.
Either that or Hex just goes and rushes Swamp Palace really quick now that Ty's already given him the layout and puts another crystal on the board. It'd be reasonable.
I think we're gonna get a ped pull over here on h3xodis' side. That's where looks like he's heading. It's got all the pendants. Ped is just not nearly as exciting in all dungeons. Because you just gotta do the pendants anyway.
TJ wrapping up Desert. SeanRhapsody is going to be on Cold Stare here momentarily. Tyvarius will follow him in about a minute. Alright, h3xodis, what is our play off of this save and quit, may I ask? We're going to Sanctuary.
Maybe something in the castle? We've already done back of escape. I don't know if...
I don't think RCB has seen the key rat key.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Looks like since he just saved it, this is nothing he can reset. It is a key. It's a, it's a pod key.
That's one that Third Try Blind has known about for quite some time
Yep.
now.
All right, so Hexus is going to go get his flippers at the very least, because he's definitely heading towards Castle Tower. Yeah, both sides are going to be running out of checks. It's... And I said that I felt like the hobo was a harder one, was an easier one to get back to than the Hera Big Chest, but they haven't gone back to that yet. And
I feel
relegation
like
chest boots roaming out
SeanRhapsody
things.
SeanRhapsody, though, is really getting into a position where he's not going to have much after Swamp
Yeah.
here, and kind of popping down in the light world and just doing that remaining flipper check when you don't
Makes
get
sense.
anything particularly interesting out of Swamp makes a lot of sense.
Sure does. We're gonna see. I think we're gonna get to see Zelda Cell. We're gonna get to Zelda Cell, which feels like that feels bad to go there without the big key to this dungeon.
It does tell me that we're more likely to see enough of Castle Tower from Hexodus that RCB won't be looking for Castle Tower small for go.
Yeah. Nothing on the guard there. Yeah, and he even set it up so that when he mirrored back, he was going to be at the top of the castle, be able to go into Castle Tower. I like that.
Tyvarius with his Ice Palace pendant.
So Tyvarius going to be running out of locations to go to things. Going to need to go to go do the Hera stuff. They've got big key and small key, so it's actually 2 checks too.
And going to get out the flute. Let's see. Are we going to 1?
Nope.
No, we're going to 3, and then we're changing our mind.
And going to 4. I don't think what else they might not have done over here. Unless there's more in Swamp Palace that he hasn't done.
Seems to be turning south again.
Yeah, that is Swamp Palace.
TJ is going ahead and putting paid to blind there. Let's see where he wants to go next, as SeanRhapsody is going to pick up the items in the back of Swamp Palace here. TJ fluting away, heading to 4.
All right, Hex is about to get this Castle Tower 4. I imagine we'll just go ahead and
Surprise,
finish.
no text box. And you can see the pause too, is wait a minute, I didn't get a text box. Oh, that's what that means.
Just hope you don't mirror too quickly, because that's what he was probably planning on doing. Oh, big bomb for TJ.
Ah, of course.
All right, so both our teams now 1 item from go.
I still feel like Third Try Blind has the easier one to get to.
I would agree with that. It kind of depends on just how many loose squares each team has, so to speak. Like, as bad as the Hera play is, it's still 2 items, and there's not a lot else.
And TJ, if he wants to, can absolutely just go to Hobo direct from here.
Yes.
Just kind of run back off of the screen and go do a little mirroring, and
Yep.
you're right where you need to be.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, we're gonna get the left side swamp play from Ty.
Looks like we're going to get it from Sean as well.
Yep. I mean, it makes a little more sense for Sean because he's already here, whereas Tyvarius had already completed swamp and went back. That is probably the worst thing he could have found. That Hyrule Castle big key, especially since they've already done all of Hyrule Castle, I think, except that big key, whatever that locks. I'm just not used to a Hyrule Castle big key being part of the pool.
Being loose, no.
And yeah, this is just gonna take them a little bit longer to get to get up back to Hera. Now the good news for them is h3xodis is gonna just, by the time h3xodis has to make a decision of whether to get that big key or not, Tyvarius will have found out that this is nothing. Unless it's like a shovel and he has to go check the shovel spot, but
even then, I feel like h3xodis will be in the back of this dungeon long enough killing Argus that it shouldn't really come to Hex making a left side swamp play.
There's that same big key for Sean. See if he heads over to Hyrule Castle. I don't know if they've done the basement yet, so it's like 2 checks for them.
He was trying to get to that flute even in the Dark World, so it was pretty obvious that he was leaving. But he's going to the mountain.
They may have not done Spike Cave yet?
That's possible.
Okay, just a piece of heart. So h3xodis should by now have the news that there's nothing he needs over in the left side.
Seems to be continuing on
this
the left
is weird.
side anyway, though.
Was there something in this pot? Even if there's something in this pot, you don't need to do the diver downplay to pick this up.
I think there was a heart container here.
Yeah, doesn't feel like there was anything here. Yeah, no, he picked it up for whatever reason he wanted it. Okay, I'm very confused about why he's going and grabbing this big key. Meantime, Sean's heading back to Pod, so must have missed him going and picking up the big key there, because I can't see any... Nope, wait, never mind.
Oh, no, we're going to backdoor into Hobo, I guess.
Okay, this has got to be the Hobo... Yeah, this has got to be the Hobo check right now. Tyvarius is going to go ahead and clear Castle Tower. This feels like I have to do this anyway, so let's just go ahead and get it done while we're thinking about what we need to do next. That's going to be go mode for a third try blind. So the clock is ticking on relegation chest boots to get over to the Hera big chest.
Not only is it get to Hera big chest, it's then declimb the mountain to go beat a dungeon so you can go up the mountain again.
And, Thieves Town is not a quick go mode. Go mode Thieves Town is like one of the worst go mode dungeons in this game. It's still really slow. Like, you get to skip the big chest, and that's about it, even in this mode. Yeah, maybe if I don't know how many small keys they have, you could potentially pick. I guess you could skip the pot, you know, because it's not going to be the small key you would normally need. So you get a little bit faster. Almost going to get simultaneous Argus finishes here on the bottom. That's cool.
And now the question kind of becomes, what does Relegation Just Boots have left? Because h3xodis has done all of the dungeons that are available to him, including Castle Tower. And, well, without the Thieves Town Big, you're not going there. Right side desert, maybe?
Yeah. That's about it. I thought I mean, we might have seen it only on one side.
Sean's gonna do a little hacking and whacking on Helmasaur King. Go ahead and drop that for the last crystal of the game. We'll see GT here in a minute.
You know, of course, the yeah, okay. Tyvarius flutes to the right place. In fact, they must have this as the only thing left because they're both here.
Relegation Chest Boots has definitely made it their mission in life to split checks up as much as humanly possible. The fact that they're finally in the same place at the same
Yes,
time tells me this is it.
exactly. And given the dungeon that they still have to do, I would definitely, I would give a pretty significant lead here to third try blind. Sean already headed up the mountain to go to GT. Will still have to do Castle Tower. He's the only one that hasn't actually completed Castle Tower. And TJ is almost at Helmasaur, so he's going to be done pretty soon. Looks like, I wonder, yeah, they're going to still split this up because h3xodis is headed down to do the check in the basement, and Tyvarius is going to go check the big chest.
Tyvarius going to get the quicker check and also the right one. You can tell we've got a little desync by Hex mirroring before we see h3xodis grab,
I know, right?
Tyvarius grab that key, but say la vie, that's sync for you.
Yeah, the worst, again, I think the worst part is that it's the Thieves Town big key. Thieves Town just not a fast dungeon.
And it's one of those locations where you're saying to yourself, man, we could have checked this right after TR forever ago, and we didn't. So when's that dot done coming, Hex? Oh, I don't know.
Yep.
But that's Helmasaur King down for TJJoll as well, so he's going to have to mirror and flute up the mountain, and he'll be following SeanRhapsody right into this GT climb.
Yeah, and they're going to finish pretty close together because Sean with the lead into GT, but hasn't done still has to do Castle Tower. TJ just needs to do Ganon's Tower. Meanwhile, both our runners on the left side, relegation chest boots, both can do Thieves Town at the same time. Nothing, I mean, there's really not even anything like a luxury item to look for. We found all the so-called, got all the swords, found all this, found the silvers, um, found powder and capes and all that good stuff, mail upgrades. Really nothing to look for. They won't be opening any chests. Just doing what they need to do. But in Thieves Town, you still have to go up. You got to blow out the floor. You got to go down. You got to grab the maiden. It's such a slow dungeon. And Sean says, with this half magic, I'm not even gonna bother with some of these rooms. We'll just use some ether. It's kind of given that we needed the other two medallions. Let's give ether some love. Unfortunately, he's the one with powder, so he'll be able to, if he so chooses, could have powdered the bunny beam. But once you get past the gauntlet, you shouldn't be taking a ton of damage. And by the time you get up top, you can powder the bunny beam / anti-fairy to get that health back up.
Yeah, Wizroads are in a pool of hearts as well, so. Looks like high value pool in point of fact, but Sean's going to turn down that fairy.
Yeah, I mean, they don't know how close. I mean, they're also probably thinking this was an easy location for our go mode, so I'm waiting for that
starting
done.
boots mode. We could have water walked that 10 minutes in.
Yep.
Tyvarius has done Thieves Town. h3xodis just has a boss fight to go. Relegation chest boots going to be up on the mountain here momentarily, but Third Try Blind does seem to have the advantage here at the moment.
Yeah, chat pointing out the difference in GT small. Sean's got 7 walking. Actually might have had all 8. I'm not sure going in. You only need since you need 2 to do the climb, and TJ has 4.
Here we are, SeanRhapsody into the Aga 2 fight. That's not a great first pattern. I think that was a 1-2-1-2, but Sean's through. Still going to have to clear out Aga Tower, clear out Aga 1.
Which, when you have silvers and a tempered sword, not too bad. Won't take him long. So I'd say TJ probably going to be the first into Ganon. He's getting really close to Aga 2.
Moldorm may get a say in that.
Yeah. Moldorm always gets a say.
Yeah, Moldorm gets a bit of a say in that, apparently. Probably still not going to change much in the grand scheme of things.
No. Interesting that the both players on relegation chest boots have 7 GT smalls.
Well, would you essentially hard last locate your go
Yep.
mode big key, you get everything.
It's so true.
And it may be that third try blind was just a little earlier to realize that there could be absolutely nothing for them in GT aside from a wizard they needed to slay.
Yeah.
Speaking of wizards you need to slay, TJ done with Aga 2, going to drop in on the pig here in about 10 seconds. SeanRhapsody just going to have to wrap up Aga 1 and then going to be able to join his teammate.
Yeah, despite the Moldorm fall, is going to get into Ganon first.
Now the only dangerous part of the entire fight, just making sure that you fill Ganon full of magical silver ammunition before accidentally making him teleport on top of you and knock you into the pit.
He's going to set up for a triple here. Very, very nice. Yeah, Tyvarius about to get to Aga 2. Exodus getting close. There's not enough time for them to catch up at this point. TJ finishing first overall with the official race time of 1:43:09.
And SeanRhapsody employing the cape to ensure the 1-1, going to get on into phase 3 here.
Half magic, and he's probably got bottles of something.
Ooh, Hex got scared of the worm there is what happened. I don't think the worm actually hit him, I think he just got scared of it and dropped the hover. But there's SeanRhapsody with the sword up in the air, and third try blind is going to take this game to even up the set. We will see a game 3 to decide this series.
Finishing with an official race time of 1:44:07. With relegation chest boots not far behind, looks like they're going to go ahead and finish it out.
Ty's going to set up for a couple of sticks there. One more. Going to need one to go. Oh, he actually torch glitched, apparently. Or not. No, he was just really early. That's fine.
There's Ganon down for Tyvarius. He's going to finish up with an official race time of 1:45:28.
And as
Hexadus
Hexadus
drops
drops
it.
in on the pig, we are joined by our victors in this evening's match, SeanRhapsody, TJ. Good game, gentlemen.
GG's.
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 So, your go mode item. Let's have a little talk, shall we?
Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
fault. That's my fault. Lost my water
Explain.
walk and just lost my water walk dodging a Zora. Ended up
Okay.
popping up on it, and I was like, okay, never mind. I just kept going, and for some
Just
weird reason,
never-
the man under the bridge didn't exist anymore until
Yep.
we were like, okay, we have these. Oh wait, did anyone do hobo?
Oh wait, no.
Oh, good. There it is.
Yep.
Well, RCB had their own little interesting go mode. That
Yeah,
I
we
don't
were
know
actually
if it was
discussing it, trying to remember where that key was, because we don't remember where it was now.
Hair big chest.
Oh, that's
Your
right.
chest with these down.
That's
So
right.
the classic, if Harapot weren't a thing,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
did that.
Falls into your lap, and you're good to go.
Yep.
Oh,
I mean, really, like, if you're trying to be a super stickler for the logic, yeah, because you get the Hera big right after that
Yeah.
to put that in logic, so it's
Yep.
like... Yeah, because, you get your mitts off of Moldworms, like, well, Hera big's got to be somewhere accessible,
Yep.
yeah.
and it
Yeah,
Yeah,
was.
definitely the key logic in this one. I mean, the key logic in any of these, let's face it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it makes you think, and then good thing we got Sean, because half the time I was like, okay, what does this mean? What does that mean? There's nothing in GT. I figured that much out.
He did. Yep, he was the one that called that out.
Yeah, GT
And
was dead
Hexadus
pretty
is
early.
clear. GG's
Yeah.
in chat for relegation chest boots who have wrapped this seat up. Hopefully we'll get them in here as well.
Yeah, Hexadus's race time of 1:47:05.
So slow.
You
It's like
got
we have
scared of the worm,
Hexadus
didn't
in
you,
here with
Hex?
us.
GG's.
GG's.
That was gross.
Yup.
Yeah.
We were actually wondering if it was that lovely Castle Tower key at the top of Castle Tower that got you guys, but
No, it was the
yeah,
Thieves'
yeah,
Town.
we heard the thieves big.
Although, to be fair, it wasn't so much the Castle Tower small key in Castle Tower as much as the King's Tomb one.
Oh yeah,
There was that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There was lots of little things.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I actually forgot about the King's Tomb one. I thought I had picked it up, and then we were discussing why I didn't have all the Castle Tower keys. Like, oh, maybe I didn't actually get it yet. Oops.
Yeah, we were wondering if you would grab the flippers and come back later if you would finish it out. And they're like, oh, well, you would help to have all the Castle Tower keys
It would.
before finishing out. So,
Yeah. Yeah, there was a couple really gross locations. I mean, the Harapot to get your Titan's mitts, only to pick
Yeah.
up Tower of Hera Big Key over in Desert was
Yep.
super fun.
Well,
That's
your
a word for it.
alternative was to go in and grab lobby chest in that book and declimb the mountain to get your big key and then come back. It
And then go
didn't
back.
get better. It was just bad
Well, yeah.
differently.
Oh yeah, it was bad all around. But I mean, then you have your Thieves' Town Big, which you can do very little with your first trip in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was a thing.
yeah. And then both teams looking for their go mode do left side swamp for the Chiral Castle Big Key, which we knew had nothing.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
was
we were
bad.
having a little bit of a panic moment there because I was going to need another Hyrule Castle small, which TJ had, so he was going to have to find it.
Oh, yeah, we did the same thing with Desert. I did Desert right, and then I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, do I have to scrub my VOD or no?
Yep.
Yeah, there was a few moments of, uh-oh, do we have to do this? Uh-oh, do we have to do that?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, quite a few. Although I'm disappointed Ice Palace Big Chest didn't yield anything.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
we got the double dip Ice Palace. You know, it's just you're not used to needing so many Ice Palace smalls, and then of
Mhm.
course, one of the Ice Palace, the last ice, one of them was was it on the green pendant
It was
turn?
on
I
green
want to say
pendant turn-in.
because
Yeah,
even
Ice
in
Palace.
this mode, you don't need all the Ice Palace small keys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My-
I'll be fully honest. I forgot I wasn't gonna be able to actually get any further in ice with my one key when I went in there. It's like, oh wait, I can't really do anything in here.
Yeah.
I mean, the silvers and tempered were nice, but
Yeah. Yeah, it was nice, but yeah. And then there's like the whole messing up your routing because you've got to go to conveyor room and
mhm.
like all these other places, and it's like I don't want to be here. I just want a freaking icebreaker and be done.
and
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
I did enjoy Third Try Blind with the one person picked up powder while the other one went and fake powder.
Yep.
Yep.
As soon
Nice.
as it worked out, it was like, okay, you just got powder. All right, I'm gonna check hammer pegs and do this. Full magic
Because
bar
that was what
later,
was on
and
conveyor. It's
yeah,
like I really don't want to have to go get that, but let's see what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, similar discussion here with Ty on this side. I think I abandoned ice as soon as I got powder
Mm-hmm.
to check that to make sure Ty didn't need it because he was in Ice Palace same time I was.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely like relegation chest boots. You all looked like you were trying to do different things as much as you could. So and so even when you went back to Hera, one of you was going towards the basement and the other one to the big
Yep.
chest.
100%.
Third Try Blind, you were doing a lot of following each other at times. But worked out because here we are.
Yeah.
yeah,
Split
we
it up
debated-
enough when it really mattered.
We still maintain that that's the best way to play this. Is just follow your partner.
Well, especially
Like,
when
do
your
different
partner's
things when you
finding all the
can.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like,
Yeah.
just do different things when you can, but for the most part, just follow your partner.
Mhm.
It's faster. But
All
yeah,
right,
like
so
that big key to Hyrule Castle was so spooky.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Mhm.
Well, I grabbed it and it's like, oh hey, there it is. Oh wait,
Yep, same.
oh no,
You're like, wait.
I forgot that's a
no.
thing.
Yep.
uh,
Ty and I were both like, well, there's only one big key left. The next big key's got to be it. I found it. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
Yep. And then TJ's preparing to scrub his VOD to find the third Hyrule Castle small that I don't have.
Yeah. Yeah. It was an interesting seed for sure. Very like crazy linear.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was basically A to B to C
Yeah,
for the
definitely.
most part.
Yeah, I mean 95% of it, I would say so for sure. If you just stay on the path and be one of those ones, if you played it solo, you'd be like, oh, this is fine.
Yeah. No, 100% this would be a solo seed. Because you'd go to Pyramid and then you'd like warp to Agus Tower to find your flippers. Like, yeah. You do things in a better order.
Definitely.
all right. In
So
the meantime,
with TTB taking this game, that means we've got a game 3 in this set, and I believe that's Third Try Blind's pick, is it not?
It is, and then the pick
Yeah.
is cross keys.
Ooh,
yay,
all right.
that's my favorite.
Okay, well, we all know that I'm not commentating game 3. Good.
Wow.
I mean,
Never took you for a quitter, mind you. I thought you like a challenge.
I mean, I jumped in and did this because I don't think I even ever watched I haven't even watched too many of these key drop 80 keys races.
Oh, yeah.
So
You get to
Yeah.
see rooms you've never seen before
That's
and
right.
never want to see again.
Yep,
That should be in the description of the mode.
it totally should.
definitely.
The fabled fish room exists.
It does.
Ugh.
Yeah, no. Well, thank you guys for the commentary,
Yep, agreed.
especially
Yes,
last
thank you
minute.
very much.
And yeah, thank you all. And good luck on your game 3.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll put my
Hopefully, I
feet
won't
up
be as
and cheer
tired
you
next
on.
time.
all right, Tracy, I guess this is the part where we have to wrap this thing up. Let's first say that coming up tomorrow on Speed Gaming 2, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we've got an Invitational League game. It is duality between Aga's backup dancers and Crystal Roller Crew. I don't think that all of the team listing is correct there, because that looks like Crystal Roller Crew's Game 1 pairing. which I'm pretty sure doesn't fly. But that's fine. One way or another, that game
They'll
is on the
figure it out.
schedule and is supposed to happen. We've also got a not yet channeled Open League game. It's going to be the series opener between Longshots and Yaps and Naps. They're going to be playing this very same ADKDB. That, since nobody's played yet, we can say that is definitely going to be Dr. Earworm and Tyler Salt versus Trey Spire and Adalor for Longshots and Yaps and Naps, respectively. That should be an interesting one. A bunch of friends getting together and playing rando on a Friday night. That never happens, right?
Never ever.
So yeah, everybody can look forward to that. Tracy, I had a blast. It's
Absolutely.
always fun. I feel like I've been saying that to a lot of people as I've been in the
Well, I'm
commentary booth this season. It's just like,
super glad I jumped in here. I need to do more of these now that certain other tournaments are winding down. And huge shout outs to both our trackers, Derek and Nochi, and Yoinka's wife for restreaming this. What a great crew.
keeping us on point and making sure that we have something to look at while we try to call the action so that we can sound smart, even when we're not sometimes.
Absolutely.
Did we get to be upside down this time again? Because that was awesome.
No,
I don't know.
Think we ever inverted you.
Oh, that's too bad. That was my favorite part. I super enjoyed that stream.
All right, that's pretty much going to do it for us. Keep an eye out for the channels tomorrow and for the SG2 match tomorrow, and we'll see you at those races. Thank you, everyone.